How does renting to a felon or a violent sex offender or somebody with an ongoing eviction sound to you? If you don't screen them properly, your next tenant could very well be one of these people. As a property manager getting ready to lease one of your apartments, you are the last line of defense when it comes to making sure that you get great candidates into your buildings. Do you know that you can discriminate against some tenants? Some form of discrimination is legal, some is not legal. It's important to know the differences between these. We're going to cover this today. And don't forget, if you want your next tenant issue to resolve itself without you having to get involved, hit that like and subscribe button. Also, check out my book, Leadership for Landlords, now available on Amazon. I want to give you a quick, real example of why screening tenants is so important. A few years ago, I encountered this young couple. The mom was a stay-at-home mom, and the dad worked at an auto body shop that he actually owned. I explained to them, just like I explained to everybody when they came into my building, that you must have no ongoing evictions. They said this was fine, and we continued on. I showed them the whole apartment. At the end of it, they said they were interested, so I copied down the information off their IDs, and I ran them through the background check system. Of course, an ongoing eviction came back on the background check. There could be a mistake. It could be a problem with the background check system. So I reached out to the tenant and I told them about this. They, of course, denied it. They said that there was no ongoing eviction, that it was a mistake. So I said, no problem. Give me the phone number of your previous landlord and I'll talk it over with them. And then if they say it's all good, we can continue forward. She told me she didn't have the phone number for her landlord. I said, what? I said, how could you not have your landlord's phone number? I said, how about whoever takes care of repairs when there's a problem, or if the gas line breaks, or the roof caves in, who do you call? Told me she didn't have any phone numbers, and I was pretty suspicious at this point. So I already had her photo ID with her legal name, and I knew the city for which the eviction was supposed to be happening in. All I had to do was go to the online system for that city for their court records and put her information in to get the address of the property for which she was supposedly being evicted from. I did a quick Google search and I was able to find the landlord's phone number who owned that property. I called them and confirmed this in fact was the tenant that he was evicting, and they owed 6 months of back rent. This landlord and about 5 minutes worth of extra screening saved me thousands of dollars in legal headaches from having to rent to this person. Now that you've seen a real-life example of why screening is so critical, let's talk about how I personally do my screenings. I start by taking a paper application from everybody that's interested in the apartment. It includes their name, how many people are going to be living in that unit, the combined monthly income of everyone signing the lease, a contact person's phone number, when they can move in, will they do a background check, do they have any previous or ongoing evictions, do they have any active collections, and an acknowledgement at the end that says that anyone that signs the lease and anybody that pays the rent must be able to do so electronically online. Once I have all that information and I decide that there's an applicant that I'd like to move forward with, I move on to our background check system. The background check system that I personally use is the one that comes with our Buildium subscription. It includes things like credit history, criminal history, all types of stuff. If you're interested in giving Buildium a try, there's a link in the description below. While the tenant is completing their online background check, I also take their photo ID and I run it through the local online court systems, just like I did in that story. It's nice to know that all your bases are covered, just in case that online background check system fails someplace. If everything looks good on the background checks, then we're good to go. All I need to do is verify their source of income, and I can send them the lease. As a property manager, it's up to you to decide what you're going to require from people to rent from you. For us, all applicants must have at least 2.5 times the monthly rent and income, no evictions in the last 3 years, no active collections, and no violent felonies or sex offenders. When you're deciding which applicant to rent to, you need to understand that there's certain types of discrimination that are legal and there's certain types of discrimination that are absolutely not legal. In the United States, we have something called protected classes. Protected classes are things like race, color, religion, national origin, gender, disability, and family status. This means that you cannot choose to rent to somebody based on these things. For example, if somebody is in a wheelchair, or if they're female, or if they're from Mexico, or black, or Christian, or have kids, and you choose to not rent to them, you're going to be in trouble. There's also forms of discrimination that are absolutely legal though. I can discriminate against somebody for their credit history, or if they provide false information, if they choose to not fill out the application completely, or if they smoke, if they refuse a background check, Or if their income doesn't meet certain requirements, I could absolutely discriminate against them. It's up to you to make sure that you're getting the best applicants you can into your buildings. Otherwise, you're going to have issues. You have to screen. My recommendation to everybody would be to decide what you're willing to accept in your buildings and decide what you're not willing to accept in your buildings. Write it down and apply it equally to everybody that applies. If you don't, you're opening yourself up for countless lawsuits. And if you have any questions, contact an attorney. It's not that hard. Just pick up the phone. You now have the information you need to find the best tenants that you can. Now, get out there and find some tenants, huh? Hey there, property leaders. We need your help. Time to get up off your ass and help some kids. We're trying to feed kids. There are kids here in the United States that are going hungry. They're food insecure. They don't know where their next meal is coming from, and that is a big deal. Head over to leadershipforlandlords.com and check out our shop. We have coffee cups, we've got journals, we've got mouse pads, t-shirts. You can even buy my book. If you buy magnet or sticker, we'll feed 3 kids. If you buy anything else, we'll feed 6 kids. Get over to Leadership for Landlords and do something good, huh?